That's the button.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this button. Okay, think I got it. Bethany, you still there?
Bethany.
Did we lose her again?
No.
I think so. Well, in
Who's
any
recording?
case, I have it recording to the cloud.
Okay.
In any case, the next shirt goes to John. And in lieu of Bethany saying what she was going to say, I'll read the slide and add a few words of my own. For your ever-present volunteerism, your guidance to student members, and your society-level contributions. Thank you, John. You've done amazing work for the students in Discord, in calls, and also for the chapter. And on the note of you being secretary, your notes are always well organized and very thorough. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
I definitely.
John, go ahead, Joy.
Oh, I apologize. You go first, Alex.
So I'll say, working with you on the CAC, working with you on the chapter. I have never seen a more committed person. You've grown so much, and now you're starting your profession. I think the future is bright. Keep going, and now you're chapter officer. Keep coming around, just like I did. That I think you're doing great, and keep at it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And John, thank you again for everything that you've done to help us out. FTC wouldn't be anything without you. You really set us up for success, especially after you graduated. So thank you again. It's been great getting to know you.
I've had the pleasure of working with John on the Community Affairs Committee. He was one of part of our leadership team this past year, and he did a fantastic job with student outreach, and it's always a pleasure interacting with John. He supported the team so well. So he not only has been a wonderful active member of STC Florida, but I've had a chance to work with him outside of the chapter as well. And in both instances, both the chapter and, the STC level, it's been a real pleasure to work with John. So congratulations.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on my phone. My computer is struggling without power. So am I in time to brag on John?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Can you guys see me? It's not telling me if I'm showing my video or not. So.
Yes, your camera's on.
Oh, delightful. I don't know what I look like. All right, hoping for the best on the spooky mood lighting, as I have one light on battery at the moment. So just want to say, John is always been a delight to work with ever since I first kidnapped John, as the joke goes, by inviting him to an STC meeting, rather abruptly saying, come get in my car and I will take you to an STC meeting, person who I've met once before. And John shockingly said yes. I swear it wasn't under duress. No, John has been, since that time, such consistent part of not just our community, but STC at large. So John's volunteerism stretches beyond STC Florida to the Community Affairs Committee. His contributions across FTC, even after graduating, being a guiding hand to student members. So John, we know FTC and STC wouldn't be what they are without you. So grateful for all of your active volunteerism and for your friendship and, being a fun person to go to Summit with, in addition to everything else. All right. I was gonna say, should we go to the next slide? Did everyone get to brag on John? I don't want to cut anyone off if they want to brag on John.
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
Cool. I'm real. John, the reason I am even in here, it is all your fault. So you've done your job well. And a nod to your constant cheerleading and encouragement. I will be officially joining. STC next week once I get paid, so you can stop harassing me and don't send the dreaded membership email.
We'll send you a welcome email when the time is right. Also, sorry, John. Emma is here. Hopefully, you can see her. Emma is here to celebrate your recognition.
It looks like John dropped off the call for a moment, but he is back.
Okay, great.
Hey, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I swear this was not planned. In a tragic turn of events, my computer also died. And now I'm on my phone.
Slowly, one by one, you will be taken from your,
Yeah.
from your preferred devices and joined by
Yeah.
phone.
Exactly. But I think I did hear most of what you'd finished saying, Bethany. Oh, funny, you kidnapped me into STC, and now you've kidnapped me into the phone realm.
Yes, join me in my pocket dimension.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess like yeah, just thank you and everybody who said something. I really appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure to both join in FTC and the I was gonna say journey, but the happenstance that got me into FTC and then into STC and just meeting all of you, and then just staying around for so long, and like I've really made, beyond everything, like great friends through FTC and STC, like beyond just volunteering. Like I really all of you I've talked to, I really just consider friends through it all. So yeah, I appreciate all of it.
Oh, thank you, John. All right, Julia, would you be able to advance to the next slide?
Just a quick note before I do. John, you missed what Rolanda said. Rolanda, would you mind repeating it quick, or do you want to leave it a surprise for John when he goes back to view the recording?
Now I'm so
No.
curious.
No, I basically just told everybody what I told you in direct messages and what I've been telling you over the past couple months. I am here because of you, and it's all your fault.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you, like me, I have a creative writing degree. I was supposed to just edit all the fiction books ever, and then here you come and introduce me to STC and technical writing and all this stuff. And now I'm taking a Foundations of Technical Writing class. And yeah, all your fault. All your fault. Thank you.
I want to frame "all your fault, thank you" as like a quote.
I should have put that on the certificate.
Yeah, and Dominic
yes.
has his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick short piece. Yeah, John, you're awesome. Thank you for being such an inspiration, and your work ethic and your personality are so magnetic.
I appreciate that, Dominic, and you've been an amazing friend, and your work ethic and personality are also just amazing makes you amazing to be around. Like, can I? It makes me want to have a section at the end where I just like hype up all of you, because yeah, I appreciate that, and just the same to you both.
All right, thank you guys so much. And we could talk about John all night, but we have to go on to brag on to someone new. And we could always brag on John more later. So I think next was Lori. Yes, okay.
Yes.
So Lori Meyer. Lori are one of our most favorite people outside of the state of Florida. Lori, I want to thank you for your community involvement with our community specifically, your wisdom that you're always willing to share. I know you think deeply and conscientiously about how you present yourself as a technical communicator and a person, and how that informs your service, not just to our community, but to STC as a whole, as you've been on the board. Lori has been recognized with a Spotlight Award previously by our chapter, but in the past year, she's been on the board, so she can't say that we're her favorite community, but she's definitely been one of our favorite board members ever. So I'm so grateful to Lori for joining us, even with the time difference, on meetings regularly to share perspectives and joys and challenges. And Lori, we're so grateful that you are a part of our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really wonderful to get to be there for your Community Affairs Committee presentation at the summit. And I know it was a emotional to see you passing the baton to Jamie Sagan as the Community Affairs Committee Chair. But I know in the time you've had that role, your work has meant a lot to a lot of people beyond even STC Florida. So I'm grateful to have the chance to have seen that transition. And you know, and soon you'll be able to say that we are your favorite community. I'm just kidding. Lori doesn't play favorites.
And
I'll be
Lori,
wrong.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Alex, sorry.
I will say, working along with you on the CAC, and then as director here on the chapter a couple years ago, it was, you know, your work ethic is great, and your passion for volunteerism, and setting the course for other people to volunteer. You know, it's a great legacy that you're leaving behind. You know, continuing, and it's, you know, we appreciate you, and it was amazing finally meeting you in person
Yeah,
after working with you so closely over the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm really glad we had that opportunity last month.
me too. Me too. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't worry, we won't make you do a speech. I promise. I won't force anyone to do speeches. We're just here to brag on you and say how grateful we are for your involvement in our community.
I absolutely want to brag on Lori because I mean, just of the many amazing people in this room and out of it, just Lori is such a role model in so many different ways. And like I have like, and it just goes to show just how many communities she's involved in and how many just people she's met and impacted. And like yeah, Lori, you're definitely a role model for me, both in leadership and just how kind you are also in everything that you do. And
Thank you.
and yeah, and same for others, just directly seeing those that you've just impacted through like working with you on the CAC and who you've helped through the CAC, those who you've been a mentor for, everything in between. So yeah, just you're amazing, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori, for everything. I enjoy talking to you each time that we get to meet and we come across each other. And you just have a really kind and supportive and also like reassuring presence. And I would love to continue talking to you. And I just feel like I just want to say thank you for everything, really.
Oh, it's a pleasure, really. And thank you so much, Joy. Thank you all. You know, it's just, you know, been such a pleasure to work with all of you. And I'm glad that, you know, even though my board, you know, position restricts my ability to officially volunteer, it's just really great to still have a contact and, you know, be able to interact with all of you and everything in this chapter. And that's something I'm not going to give up. So thank you.
That's good to hear, Lori. We'll hold you to it. You're not allowed to leave ever, as far as we're concerned. All right. Would you want to go to the next slide, Julia? I'm keeping an eye on the time. We might run a little bit over, but I'm really willing to get to brag on some of these people. So WC Weiss. I don't know where our community would be without WC. He is been a steady hand at the wheel. He keeps us honest. He keeps us on track. He asks the right questions and makes sure we have good answers. And it's just been, for me, especially starting out as a Florida chapter leader and then as a board member, a great source of wisdom and guidance and insight. So WC, I'm so grateful for your commitment to our community. And even beyond that, the impact you've had on STC as a whole over the years. It's more than just the numbers, I know, that you do as our treasurer that mean a lot to all of us.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, Bethany.
I mean it. Thank you so much.
And well, WC, one thing I've absolutely loved about working with you in this chapter is that you combine a wonderful way of being extremely organized and really good at crunching numbers with a real welcoming, friendly, supportive approach to all of your work as a chapter volunteer. And, you know, it's just, I'm really happy that I got a chance to know you, and you've done so much good for this chapter. And you have so much, you're such an integral part of the chapter's history, and that's very inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
And I will say you've always been there for me, definitely a guiding light over the last few years. And whenever I have questions about the inner workings of how to navigate a career at Lockheed, you were there for 40 plus years, I lean on you. So definitely thank you for that.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate the comments.
And
All
for
right.
me, I know. Oh,
Oh,
I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna
Go ahead.
say,
I want to make sure. Go ahead, John.
yeah. And even though for me, even though I've only more recently been like officially on the team, all these years knowing you, just being on the ADCO with you and seeing all the work that you've done, even before I was with STC, when I was just starting at UCF and attending FTC meetings, I know that you were there and you've been laying foundations for, or you laid foundations for so many things in the chapter, both through those you've mentored and the programs you've helped with, and of course, just helping the chapter run, and also just being able to really just be that community leader who so many things stand upon, and also just to be honest, like having great jokes too. it's
My kids.
yeah, and it's always a fun time, and always a fun time leading with you and chatting with you, and yeah, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Jim.
That's right. We're a perfect audience for some good wordplay jokes. All right. I know we're running a few minutes over. Apologies due to the nearby lightning strikes and such. If we could move to the next slide, Julia, please. All right. I've already bragged on Alex once, but I want to do it again real quickly and give everyone else a chance who didn't get to contribute earlier. Alex has been by my side as a community leader, helping me remember what we need to do, how we need to do it, what have we done before, making sure that we're a warm, welcoming, inclusive community as people enter our profession, and just being willing to share experiences and knowledge every step of the way. So Alex, always happy to continue to work with you in our chapter, and looking forward to the years to come, especially because you need to become a fellow after an associate fellow. So, that's the next journey.
Thank you.
Alex, it's just been, I keep saying this over and over again about everybody, but it's great to work with you. But I've been really inspired by how you bring so much knowledge to technical communication in a very complex field, because you probably write some of those highly technically complex documentation among any of us. And so you do that very well, and yet everything you do for the chapter is just so clearly executed, and just you communicate so well with everybody in a very positive and yet professional way. And I have always enjoyed working with you, and it's been inspiring to work with you, and I'm thrilled to death that you're now an associate fellow.
Thank you, Lori.
And I could say the exact same. I'm thrilled for just your recent award, and also just, of course, all your chapter leadership over the past few years that I've been leading with you, and just all that I've been able to see, or all that I've know that you've done throughout the chapter's history, and the heart for students too. That's one thing that I definitely look up to. And I know that you have a heart for students, and it shines through what you do in FTC and STC over these years you've supported it. And yeah, so for all that and the many things in between, it's also your humility too, because I feel like there are things from STC and FTC that you've done that I may not even know about yet. And yeah, just super glad to see you get this. Super well deserved.
Thank you.
All right. If we could go to the next slide, I think we have one more person to recognize. She's not on the call, but I still want to recognize Jen Buckley. Jen is a former STC member who has recently returned to STC, and she has been a delightful presence at our networking meetings, especially. So welcoming people and providing a lot of advice. She has a broad experience as a contractor. So she's worked with anyone and everyone in the profession, it seems like, and she's always sharing really good advice and contributions there. I know she's also been doing some presentations for other STC communities. So and stepped up as a mentor recently for our mentoring program. So Jen is someone I'm looking forward to working with even more as she becomes more involved. And I'm grateful for her time and commitment to our chapter. So
I'd
yeah,
like-
applause. Go
I'd-
ahead, Julia.
I'd like to second that and also thank Jen for at times carrying some of the networking, because she's one of, I believe, our extroverts in STC Florida.
Yeah, Jen always has something interesting to say and to share with our fellow attendees. So I'm grateful for her involvement. So if you'll go to the next slide, I think that should be our opportunity to wrap. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I include extra slide. I know we're a few minutes over. I just want to give an opportunity in case there's anyone who we haven't spoken to that you want to recognize in the community. I know we've talked a little bit about our summit attendees, our mentors, our mentees, our active members, our chapter leaders. But if there's anyone who hasn't got a chance to speak up and share something about someone in STC or STC Florida, we wanted to give you an opportunity. And if you think of something later, feel free to send us a note and we'll put it to members. Did I hear Lori? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, just very quickly, I want to just acknowledge someone who is not with us, but he has been such an important part and such a wonderful part of STC Florida, and that is Mike Murray. Mike has just been a mentor extraordinaire, an extremely hardworking volunteer, and just inspiring in just about every way. You know, despite battling a very serious illness, he continues to reach out to people, offer help, and just look for the good in everything. And Mike has been, you know, it's been my pleasure to know him. I wish I had met him 20 years ago, but he's just been such an inspiration and such a contributor to this chapter. And I just wanted to just acknowledge him and lift him up and just say how much he's appreciated, especially, you know, by me, and I've only known him for a short time. So, you know, Mike, ever get a chance to listen to this recording, Mike, it's just been such an honor to know you.
We'll make sure to share that. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, if you go on our chapter website or look at our chapter materials, you'll see Mike's fingerprints everywhere in our community. He really laid the groundwork for a lot of the things we do today.
DWC has his hand up.
One thing I wanted to do while we had the chance also is to thank Lori Corbett and John Kessler. How remarkable that after 25 years of relationship with our chapter and their life has drifted them on, that they're still caring enough to be here tonight. I think that's remarkable. I want to thank them for their contributions and gifts over these many years.
Absolutely. Thank you both for being here. John, we're always happy to see you. You've been a website admin extraordinaire through lots of hurdles and challenges, changes in technology. You were there for the chapter. And for Lori Corbett, one of our two excellent Loris that we have with us. We're always happy to see you both online and in person when we get the chance, when you join Florida for a session. So you have the best stories.
Yeah, and
So,
I have a whole history in New York before I even moved down to Florida that no one even knows about. And maybe one day I'll tell you.
Okay, well, we'll have to plan that out. I'll put a slide for it on an upcoming meeting, right? Yeah.
Hey, John, I never knew you were from New York. You know, I grew up there.
I'm from Long Island.
I grew up in Queens.
Okay.
We were neighbors.
And
After all these years.
I make a conscious effort not to drift into a New York, Long Island accent, but there's
I'll
certain,
never do that. Never, never, never.
yeah, a Long Island accent, sure. But there are certain, I should have jumped in before, but then you switched over to different slides when you're talking about regionalisms and accents and so on. But there are certain things where I can recognize someone from New York immediately, even if they don't have an accent, just by some key phrases which are unique to the area. And the other day I was in Publix and I was just chatting with one of the cashiers, and she said something. I said, "Okay, what part of New York are you from?" and it was obvious to me, but she didn't have an accent, but she used some expressions that are definitely not used in other parts of the country.
I got a better story. I got a really good story. We were Hurricane Sandy. My husband and I were going on a cruise, and we were supposed to go to Bermuda, but we ended up going to Boston. And I'm crossing the street in Boston, and I hear a woman with a Scots accent. Now everybody knows my husband knows he was Scottish. And I said to this woman, who's a perfect stranger to me, "Excuse me, but what part of Scotland are you from?" And she looked at, she was from the same town as my husband, and she actually knew his cousin. When we met in Boston, it was the weirdest thing, but it was the accent.
What a small world, right? Well, yeah, thank you both. And thank you, WC, for pointing out that we are in honored company in addition to our other recognized people. I think that, Julie, if you don't mind going to the next slide.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for bearing with us through, I think, a total of 6 power outages on my end, and then John's loss as well. We are always excited to be joining from afar with technology, helping us and hurting us as it goes. But thank you so much for being part of this celebration. It means a lot to me and to our chapter members that you take the time out of your evening to talk with us, share time, energy, and expertise. And if you continue to think about if you're not a volunteer, but you'd like to be, we love, if you could see, to brag on people. We will brag on you as our volunteer for years to come. We will brag to future employers, to each other in the profession. We are so happy to work together and to be able to share this experience. So thank you again for coming. Thank you to everyone who's volunteered. I really cannot say thank you enough. That's why I put thank you on the left side, even though I've said it lots of times, because I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. So just a reminder, we do have that leadership retreat in July. So I would love to see lots of smiling faces in person and online there. And we hope you will consider joining us there as well. So thank you all so much for joining. I hope you all take care.
This is great. We had a deadline that got pushed out, thank goodness. And that was what enabled me to attend this meeting. And now I want to thank the management team for pushing the deadline out so I could come to this meeting.
I'm very glad, Lori. You're glad you were here. It would have been worse without you. So thank you. And thank them for us. So I think we'll go ahead and close it out. Take care, everyone. And I will look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everyone.